Hello, hello. This is the My Artifact episode number 3812. Today's date is January 12, 2025. Sorry, 26. It's been almost like a 9:39 p.m. All right, let's just jump into the question. Let's go. Okay, the question is, what if time loop taught the life lesson? Okay, that's a really good question. Okay, first of all, what exactly is this question and why am I asking this question to myself? This is what if question. Why am I asking this question to myself? What if question is always been really interested way to give the answer. It kind of like a force me to think about that reality. When I try to think about that reality, or when I try to create that reality inside of my mind, I'm kind of like utilizing my knowledge, information, and experience that I've been through, and somehow it kind of like a felt good. Disclaimer: the information that I'm trying to tell you is not exactly right or is not exactly wrong either. It's a raw, it's unfiltered, it's just my opinion. So do not believe in any kind of like information that I'm saying, or do not seek for any kind of like information that I'm saying. It's just my opinion, and opinion are subjective. Now regarding about the question says that what if time loop taught a life lesson? Now what exactly is this thing? Is time loop kind of like a taught a kind of like assembly lesson? Well, I don't know how I'm supposed to explain this thing. Okay, yeah. But when you do thing like basically is this thing, let's just say that I am not good into say skydiving. Okay, yeah. So basically what exactly happened that you are on the plane. Okay, yeah. Imagine a scenario. You are on the plane. Now plane is a kind of like a something happened and like basically is this thing, you have to kind of like a dive down. So you have a parachute and you just have to kind of like a fall. Now problem is that you haven't really done any kind of like a something skydiving, or you don't know how to be open that kind of like a parachute bag, nothing really at all. You just have 1 second to take the bag. Now you just have 1 minute to take the bag and jump. Okay, yeah. Now you kind of like took the bag, okay, because it's a very emergency situation. Everyone kind of like took the bag and you actually fall from the aeroplane. Now basically you don't know how to open, you don't know nothing really about. Okay, yeah. So basically you are try to open that parachute, but you are failed to open. You fall and you die. Okay, yeah. When you die, you just literally woke up in the same scenario. You just have only 1 minute to kind of like somebody take a bag and kind of like a jump. Okay, yeah. Now before you haven't even kind of like understanding that what the fuck is actually happened, that I just couple of minutes ago I just die, and literally I just woke up and I'm kind of like doing the same thing. So in this particular time, you are try to take the bag and try to understand how to open, but because of very less time, so you don't know that like it's a kind of like everyone, it's a very chaos situation. So you just kind of like a fall and suddenly that bag is kind of like a lost from you, and you kind of like a fall without a parachute. Obviously you will gonna die. Soon as you die, you wake up. So basically this cycle is continue happening like literally first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh attempt, every attempt. Like every attempt I try to know how to open that parachute. Sometime I open the parachute, but it was kind of like a very far close to the ground, so I die too. Okay, yeah. Sometime I kind of like somebody open the parachute, but parachute has a kind of like somebody tangle in each other, so it's kind of like somebody very difficult. Another time I try to open the parachute, but kind of like something is this thing that I don't know how to do this thing. I kind of like somebody listening at the instruction while kind of like falling down, and then I kind of like realize the instruction how do I supposed to open the parachute bag. It's become too late. Okay, yeah. So basically is this thing, I will gonna die maybe like 100 time, but within that 100 time I might gonna understand that how do I supposed to kind of like wear this parachute bag, and how do I supposed to open this bag. Okay, yeah. And maybe kind of like a 101th time I might kind of like simply wear the bag with very constrained amount of time, like a 1 minute. I wear the bag properly with kind of like a all those kind of like assembly things. Then I jump properly, and then I kind of like unhook this thing, and then parachute car properly deploy, and then I safely land. So what exactly is this thing that key? It took me almost like 100 attempt to kind of like learn how to kind of like something that key open the parachute back and kind of like land it safely and things like that. So this is what is actually question is about, that how is actually time loop kind of like a taught us. This is it, like this is kind of like a simply time loop is actually taught us. Okay, yeah. It's a kind of like a friction world. Okay, yeah. We are not kind of like a simply die and kind of like a wake up every single day. No, nothing really at all. Okay, yeah. But what we learn is that ki when we kind of like do things every single time, same thing again and again and again and again, you kind of like learn things. Okay, yeah. And it's actually happened in the real world too. Imagine, I'm not really sure, but I was kind of like a very worst player at badminton. Okay, yeah. Like I am not a kind of like a player. Okay, still I am not a player. Okay, yeah. But it's just like that one of my friend who was kind of like a playing a badminton. I wanted to play a badminton, so I played badminton. Okay, almost like when the COVID happened. And I'm not really kind of like a playing that well, like a very worse and things like that. But every day I kind of like a practice, not kind of like a simply every day, kind of like every day means like that key, like a like no, it's just like that whenever I time I kind of like took the badminton, I kind of like played the badminton and things like that. And today I'm kind of like playing the badminton really good. Okay, yeah. So this is what it is, like basically if you wanted to learn any kind of like a stuff, it's not meant to be happen in a one day. Definitely not. This question is not actually about the time loop. It's actually about a kind of like assembly stuff that if you wanted to learn any kind of like assembly stuff, don't wait for time loop or don't wait for any kind of like a stuff. You just have to keep doing that stuff again and again and again and again and again and again and again. This is the only way that you should supposed to be kind of like assembly learn things. Like basically when I started running, I was kind of like assembly very hard to run for more than a 10 minute. Right now I could easily comfortably I could run 30 minutes, and right now it's become my habitual. Like basically I every day kind of like a run 30 minutes non-stop. It kind of like a became my habit. Even like if I didn't really run, it felt like a wrong and things like that. So basically is this thing that key if you are kind of like a doing the same thing again and again and again, you will gonna master that thing. And that is kind of like it taught us a lesson, right? So this is what it is. Well, time loop is a kind of like a very frictional thing. Okay, yeah. But time loop, the question is not meant to be kind of like a go to the friction world and kind of like a think about that things and that and that. But still, is this thing that whatever you do, if you wanted to learn things or if you wanted to know things, just keep doing every single day. Yeah. A wise man says that thing, if you wanted to be expert in any kind of like a field, you have to put at least 10,000 hours in that particular work. Then you will call it as a kind of like a expert. So 10,000 hours means what? Let's just calculate now. 10,000 hours means what? So wait, where is the calculator? Okay, yeah. So converter. So I have time. Alright, so let's just say hour. So how many hour I'm gonna say? 10. Sorry. Okay. 10,000. Okay, this is 100. This is 1,000. This is a 10,000. So 10,000 hour. That means 416 days. Okay, yeah. So basically, is this thing 416 days means what? Like basically is this thing? Let me tell you one thing. Like if you wanna say this thing, that means like I need a kind of like some year to kind of like be an expert and things like that. No. I'm saying is this thing that key these 10,000 hour means like that legitly specifically for 10,000 hour means like that key if let's just say I am a kind of like I wanted to be app developer, and let's just say I am kind of like spending almost like a 2 hour or maybe 3 hour in a day to kind of like learn app development and things like that. So probably how much time do I need to expert in this thing? So let's just calculate. Okay, so let's just say 3 hour, okay, per day. So wait, how do I supposed to calculate this thing? I'm not really good at mathematics. Okay, so let's just say he was kind of like spending almost like maybe 3 hour in a day. So probably 3 into 8. So it really required at least like 8 days to complete 192 days, 192 hour. So if I put the 30 days, wait, then it will be 19. No, let me calculate this thing. So 30 days, 720. No, 100 days, 2,400. Let's just say 200 days. That means 4,800 hour. No, 500 days. That means 12,000 hour. 500 days not probably. Let's just say that key 4,450. Okay, 450. So that means you need at least like a 450 days to kind of like spend 3 hour of app development for almost like a 450 days. Then you will complete 10,800 hour. That means you are considered as a kind of like expert in that particular thing. So this is what it is. Like you have to be kind of like put the effort every single day to kind of like get and things like that. All right, yeah, this is it. The question is not actually about the kind of like friction world, but it's actually about the kind of like somebody doing the same thing again and again to be kind of like somebody expert and things like that. By the way, I'm kind of like ending artifact very soon because of that. I'm really tired. Because yeah, tired means what? Like basically this thing from 6 p.m. to almost like a 10. Yeah, almost like a 4 hour. I'm kind of like standing and things like that. Yeah, so probably I just have to sit in front of my desk and just do my stuff. All right, this is it, and thank you.